feel like asking for a show of hands for the three of you out there who may not know who our guest speaker is today. About 5 years ago on Facebook, I started noticing this enthusiastic young girl from the country of Kosovo who was interested in astronomy, passionate about astronomy, passionate about education, the betterment of her country, just providing a means for her fellow students to learn about the sky and become as passionate about it as she is. And over the past 5 years, Pranvera Hyseni has built up the largest astronomy outreach organization in Eastern Europe, and she's done it single-handedly. Just by Facebook contacts, her enthusiasm has been contagious. People all around the world have contributed equipment, resources to her, and the astronomy outreach of Kosovo is now recognized around the world. It's kind of a model for what we should be doing. Her enthusiasm for this and her work in it is contagious. And Pranvera has an almost instinctive, ingrown knowledge of, I don't know, it's kids as young as she is. She's only 22 years old. She started this when she was in high school. And kids that young, I guess they just naturally know how to use Facebook. I don't know, they're just born with that. And she's used her Facebook talents to rally this almost worldwide fan club that is just cheering her on. And I decided this year, take a deep breath, go out on a limb, invite her over here, and show her what America is about. Show her that we are also passionate about astronomy, and introduce her to America at its best. And I'm really happy that all of you here at the Texas Star Party have been excellent American ambassadors this year. And Pran has been a stunning ambassador for her young country. Her country was born of a war 20 years ago. Pran made no bones to me that if it wasn't for NATO intervention, the United States intervening, she would be dead. She would not be here. So America did good. She's here now. And I'm proud of how all of us have showed her a wonderful time here at the Texas Star Party. And we've made sure that a little bit of Texas rubs off on her. She's gone horseback riding, she's saddle sore now. We took her out to the shooting range, and now she's powder burned, so she's an official Texan. And I'll tell you what, she's never shot a gun in her life, and she was stunningly good. This is Deadeye Pranvera. But I'm not going to hog a whole bunch of time here. I know you all have visited with her for the past week. It's like she made it her personal mission to greet everybody. The amount of interaction has been stunning. So I'm going to just stop blabbing at the mouth here and let her come up here and tell her story. So, Pran, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. It's a very great honor to be with you. And I am Pranvera Hyseni from the Republic of Kosovo. I'm 22 years old and I major in geography at University of Pristina in Kosovo. Actually, I'm also the founder and director of the Astronomy Outreach of Kosovo, which has become the largest non-profit astronomy outreach program in our place. First of all, I really want to thank all of you for making this incredible event over years and years, joining us all together to learn and share experiences about the sky. I also want to give a very, very special thank to Mr. Robert Rebus, who was the initiator to bring me here in the stage today. So, before I share my story, I just want to let you know that my English is not very good, so I hope you won't have hard times understanding me, so don't mind it, please. So, to all of you who doesn't exactly know where we are, where Kosovo is, I have put here a Europe map, and Kosovo is just right in the center of the Balkan Peninsula, and it's surrounded by Albania, Macedonia, Montenegro, and Serbia. Kosovo is the youngest country in Europe. We got our independence in 2008, and it has been really going through a lot. As Robert said, that we have been going through war times and all that. As most of you know, is that Kosovo before it was part of the former Yugoslavia, and somehow we have been under communist power. And when you are under communist power, that means that you don't have freedom. And when you don't have freedom, you can't have what you want. And this way, the people in our territory are Albanian, because Kosovo and Albania before was one country, but politics has separated them. So, this way, we have been like really left behind it, because Albanian schools, Albanian books, and everything in Albanian was not allowed by the Yugoslavia communist power. This means that all people in Kosovo couldn't get educated, and the education is the most powerful weapon that you can change the world. So, the people in Kosovo wanted to do something, wanted to have freedom, wanted to learn more, wanted to let their kids go to school and all that. There were groups, there were teachers who were trying to teach others secretly in their private houses, not to let their kids not to know how to write or read in Albanian. One of these teachers, it was my dad. My dad works as a teacher for over than 40 years. 10 years of his life he spent teaching secretly in private places students, educating them without getting even a penny. So Dad now is my biggest inspiration. Anyway, somehow in the latest 1998, 99, the war started, and we have been really going through a lot. So because of this, I want to give a very special thank to the United States and NATO for helping us survive. And I'm alive on this stage because of the United States. So thank you so much, guys. Anyway, during the wartime, 99, there was something very interesting that happened in our sky. I was only 4 years old, and there was a solar eclipse. So you can see we had a very close to total solar eclipse. You can see the map, and it wasn't too dark, but yes, it was a little bit dark. So I remember very little bit because I was 4 years old, and I can see the people how they could make panic because people didn't know what is going on. People thought that it's going to be the end of the world, or God knows, because they were not informed about astronomy phenomena. And I remember how my grandfather took a bucket filled with water, and he got my family, including me, were trying to show us the solar eclipse. And he just said that it's nothing, it's just the moon going in front of the sun. And then I would say, hey, there is something very interesting. And this somehow captured my attention about that. So later on, I grew up in a village. It's a very small village in forests, dark skies, very farming place. So every night I could see the stars shining in the sky. And I was wondering, what is these stars and why they are there? And everything about that. I remember how my sister was trying to teach me the planets of the solar system. And it was very interesting for me. I was really starting to like astronomy, and I was saying that when I grow up, I will be a man that flies to space, because I didn't know that it's named astronaut. Also, I heard of NASA at that time on TV saying that NASA discovered this and that. But I thought NASA was a man that does discoveries. I didn't really know that NASA was a whole group of people that does incredible stuff. And just later on I understood that. So I wanted yet to see the sky. I wanted to look closer to the moon, to the planets, to see everything closer. But I couldn't, because I didn't have a telescope. And you can't find a telescope in Kosovo. Basically, we didn't have eBay or Amazon at that time, so no telescope. So, when I founded my Facebook, I made an account on Facebook and I started looking for people, and I also wanted to know more about astronomy because it's very difficult to find books into astronomy in our language, because you can find 5 or 6 of them because we don't have it all, and you will just have some basic astronomy, not something that we really want to know as astronomers. So this was also one of the reasons why I had to learn English and know more through the internet and read other books, even though my English is not too good, but yeah. So this way I founded my Facebook and I met some astronomers. One of these astronomers from a neighborhood country decided to gift me something that I was waiting for so long. He told me that he's going to give me a telescope. Who would believe somebody that you didn't even know or met in person is going to give you something that you waited for so long? And this happened. This is Dragan Radmilovic, and he gave me this telescope, which, I mean, it's a very simple telescope, but for me it was the biggest I could have, and I did a lot. This was my very, very first outreach event. I took that to my school, and this was my class, and I put that in front of them. It was their first time to see a telescope. I was very nervous. I remember I was explaining how it works, and I didn't know how well it works because I just had it in a couple of days. So this way, I saw that they were really liking it. I mean, even the teachers and everybody was liking it. But the reason was, when I started my high school, there was, in our gymnasium high school, you have 2 directions. To study natural sciences, which is math, physics, and others, and about social sciences. And when I went there to do the registration, the sciences program was full of students, so no more place for me. And I said, what the heck, I couldn't be a scientist. So I had to go to the social sciences, where I didn't have math or physics or anything like that. Anyway, I went there for 2 years in gymnasium high school. Even though I didn't forget astronomy. I was doing more astronomy at home than learning or studying social sciences at school, which wasn't really right, but I loved it. And so I'm the teacher of astronomy, because of the last year of gymnasiums of natural programs, they learn a little bit astronomy. She heard about me, and she was very curious to know who's this student from the other program that is not supposed to do astronomy, doing astronomy with a telescope. And so on, she decided to change me the program. She took me to natural sciences. Even though I risked to fail in the final exam, I didn't care at all. I wanted to do that. So I took a lot of science fairs, and I went with my school, and I took my telescope with me. I had a very small filter so we could observe the sunspots sometimes, and it was very exciting. I was also going to other elementary schools teaching the students with all what I had. And somehow the Facebook was really helping me because I was meeting people. I was meeting new astronomers that changed my life. Because with the donation they made to us, it changed our place now. So I want to give a very special thank to the king of solar astronomy, Mr. Stephen Ramsden, and to all other these companies that have sent us different type of telescopes, mounts, solar glasses, planetary cameras, atlases, and all of these which really we use now and help us a lot. When I had all these equipments, I was alone with telescopes, and I was going there out a lot to teach others, and somehow how they wanted to look through my telescopes made me go out there every day and show them the sky. So this thing made me do outreach. And I decided to found the Astronomy Outreach of Kosovo, which now has become the largest astronomy outreach program in the whole country. And this was on 10th of January 2015. Just 2 months later, we had another solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse coming up, and I knew about that. And yeah, we had solar glasses, solar telescopes, so I said, why not put all of them in a square of the city and observe the solar eclipse with all the people out there? And I did that. And this became... a very historical event, because we had 1,000 people, and I had just 3 telescopes, and we shared a lot of solar glasses. Even people from government, from ministry, from institutes, from everywhere, from other cities, they heard of it through TV, and they came and joined us, and it was very awesome. And I was just alone with my family. My mom was taking care of my books, not, and all the other stuff. And in this event, I met students and friends that now became part of this team, and we worked together as one. So now we grew up, and these are all members. Basically now we are 100 members in our team, but we go like this with our telescopes. We get a lot of invitations from different schools, from different cities, and we try to go as much as we can. We also do astro camps. We go with our members. We train how to use telescopes, how to polar align, how to use the sky atlas, how to do observations, imaging, all of this stuff. And it was very difficult to learn all this because nobody was there to teach us. We somehow used Facebook, YouTube tutorials, and all that to teach this and do this, and also pass this to other people. So it was quite difficult, but yes, here we are. Also, these are just some of the events we do. I mean, we have many outreach events. I couldn't include all the pictures, but yeah, here are just some of them. And you can see we do all kind of outreach, like night events or during the day, because schools works during the day, and we mainly do solar events during the day, and we observe the sun in different types of telescopes with different wavelengths, hydrogen alpha, visible light, or calcium K, and all this stuff. So these pictures I have put here, I wanted just to show this. No matter if you are young or if you are old or what kind of profession do you have, astronomy is for everybody. Because all of us are part of this world, part of this universe, and we are responsible to know what is going on there. So this is it. Basically, this is the Mercury Transit, 9th of May 2016. Again, we did a historical event because too many people showed up. It was a phenomenon. Yeah. And what is funny with this picture, this member is our member, and he's very tall. And people were jumping to get solar glasses, so we gave it to him, and nobody couldn't reach them. Anyway, even though the transit of Mercury can't be visible through solar glasses, we still wanted to hand them, and we hand them for free. So we want to thank again Charlie Bates Solar Astronomy Project and Rainbow Symphony for donating these to us. Also, we were then invited to go to do international travels. Wow, we waited for so long. We were invited to visit a NASA moon rock that the astronauts of Apollo 14 displayed that in the Museum of Volondia in Milan of Italy. So we traveled there, and this is the moon rock, and it was very interesting. This is a replica of Casper module of Apollo 16, and I got the opportunity to get in there, and it was a very great experience. I also saw an astronaut costume that I was wondering to be someday. So then, after we came back from Switzerland and Italy, there was another invitation we got from the chapter of Charlie Bates Solar Astronomy Project in Australia. We went there to represent Kosovo at International Sunday Convention, which is to look at the sun, and people do that all around the world. So we went there and held this event, and it was so incredible because it was such a big solar setup, and you could see the sun like never before. Then While in Australia, we met incredible people. We met Harry Lovejoy. I guess most of you have heard of him. He did incredible discoveries of comets. He discovered 6 comets, and then we spent a few days with him. He taught us how to do this and how to hunt comets, which is a very interesting field. Then we also met BOSS team, which is Backyard Observatory Supernova Search. Greg Bach and Peter Marples, so together they discovered 28 supernovas. And it was very awesome to spend days with them too in their Leyburn Observatory. They taught us how to discover supernovas, even with a small setup that you could have. This is the planetarium and observatory of Thomas Brisbane in Australia, and it was my first time to have a planetarium show, which was just really incredible. Then this is Jonathan Bradshaw, a discoverer of a couple of asteroids and double stars, and of course Rob Black, who was the man who invited us up there. We also, in Australia, visited a meteorite crater. This is it, a crater quite big, and we were hunting meteorites with some detectors, trying to find some. We didn't, but we tried at least, so it was quite fun to do that. But what was the most interesting fact in Australia? When I traveled there, I got out of the airport and I was lost. I looked up. I didn't know any of the stars, constellations. It was a complete different sky. Because the southern skies from Kosovo are not visible because we are up in north. And it was very awesome to see different objects, new constellations, new nebulas and galaxies. And we observed them with very great telescopes because they had a 20-inch Dobsonian and 14-inch Meade-Schmidt-Cassegrain, and it was like never before. We'd never had the opportunity to observe through these equipment. And can you believe it? In Kosovo, the biggest telescope we have in the whole country is an 8-inch Newtonian. And that went all over the country, giving the opportunity to people to observe. These are just 2 pictures we got from Australia, and with a planetary camera, and it turned out really good because they were up really from horizon to the zenith, and they were great. This was my very deep sky imaging. I was very happy for that. It's not so good, not very well focused, but yeah, I could get the shape of Dumble Nebula and all that. And these are just some of the images of sun, and then lunar. Probably Robert would like this. M42. And then these are some of the deep sky and the sun in different wavelengths, and it was really, really great for us. Last August, we had a very, very incredible honor to invite and host Mr. Stephen Ramsden to come to Kosovo. And so he did. He came there and he got also us a couple of telescopes donating to us, and he did different lectures for students there, and together we also held some outreach events out in the city, and of course he has a lot of knowledge and sharing that with our people, which was very awesome. I just want to thank him so much for that. We were also in a TV invited, and basically we get a lot of media coverage. They support us a lot. These are just some of the shows that we have been at. They invite us a lot because astronomy in Kosovo is something very new. Nobody did that before. And if you go out there with a telescope in the square, everybody will jump in you. Look, what is that? What can you look through that? It's something very interesting. It's not like here that everybody has a telescope in their balcony.
Not really.
And when Stephen was here, he was also hosted by the government, so this is the Minister of Education, Arsen Bayrami, who invited us, and then from now he supported us, and we are very glad that now we have very good relations with our government. And now we launched a program, a project basically, which has to do with training and teaching in schools, in high schools, how to use telescopes, and to be focused more in practical astronomy. Not to learn astronomy just in paper, say Mars is there and there, but Mars and Moon and all this stuff should be learned in the sky. And this is what we want to convert to. Now, the latest thing that happened, I was invited here. Basically, we came here to represent our country, which was very great honor, and I'm so happy to be here. So it was very great to be in Texas Star Party. It's my first time here and to the United States, basically. I met a lot of friends, and you have been so awesome and so great with me. And I see many, many telescopes, big ones, 36-inch. Larry was just showing me stuff. I was, oh my God, amazed. And we plan to move also from Texas Star Party. We are going to Arizona with my friend Joe Bergeron. I'm also invited to go to Space Fest, where all the NASA's astronauts and moonwalkers are going to be there too. I will also be a speaker. We will go to Grand Canyon Star Party, which is very great star party too. We are looking forward to that. Then Joe is also going to show me the Kitt Peak National Observatory, Lovell Observatory. They invited us to provide a presentation there too. Also, my friend Tracy, she will also get me to the Hayden Planetarium, where I hope to meet Neil deGrasse Tyson if he's there. Then I plan to stay here until September 18th, where I am also for the solar eclipse. I plan to be somewhere in north of Kansas City to get the totality. So yeah, it's going to be quite a trip. I'm really excited. So we are back here again at the beginning. Guys, if somebody would tell me at this time that I will be in this stage among all these astronomers, discoverers, and all these awesome and great equipments, I would have never believed. But now, I do. And I want to prove it to every kid, to every human being, that if you love something, don't give up. Do that. No matter where do you come from, no matter how poor you are, or no matter what don't you have or you have, if you work hard, you will really reach that. I guarantee you that. So, you, Robert, and all you other guys who brought me here, you didn't change only my life, but you changed a whole country's history in astronomy and science. Because I promise all this knowledge that I gain here and experience, I will get it back with me to the people in Kosovo and share with them. So this is my mission, to educate others. And this is what my teams does. And I hope that Astronomy Outreach of Kosovo, even after my death, will be going on and make Kosovo proud and educate others. So thank you very much. God bless you.
Well, that's some pretty cool stuff in my 60-odd years of amateur astronomy, but I'm going to have to tell you something. Inviting Pranvera to the Texas Star Party has got to be the coolest thing I've ever done. And Pran, on behalf of the Texas Star Party, would like to give you the certificate of merit. You have been an official speaker at the Texas Star Party.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have any of you have any questions for Pran about her?
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I think she covered it pretty darn good.
I have a question. So, Pran, what other astronomy is going on in Kosovo now as a result of the outreach? Are you seeing universities create programs or schools developing programs? What are you seeing happening there now?
Basically, in Kosovo, we don't have any degree which is related to astronomy programs. We have astronomy as part of one of the semester in physics and geography, but that is very basic and most focused on theory. So this was one of the ways why I had to study geography, so I wanted to choose something that relates a little bit to astronomy, but somehow I do astronomy more than I do geography at my university, hoping that some days I will PhD planetary sciences as it relates really to geology and geomorphology. So yeah, I hope so. Any other questions?
What are the skies like?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh, what is the significance of the 6 stars on the Kosovo flag?
Oh, the 6 stars symbolize the Albanians and other minorities that are on our state. So there are other some minorities, so we didn't want to let them behind. So they're all part of the country. So these stars symbolize them exactly.
Have you seen changes in the government or the education system as you started to do things that had never been done before?
Yes, as I said before, government is really supporting us now. So they want us to go in school and teach them astronomy with our equipment. They support us financially now. So we want to go there and teach them. Basically, we don't charge people that comes and look in our telescopes. We everything do for free. It's a free program. It's volunteer. We also share solar glasses and other things for free. So yeah, government is doing this. I hope that someday we're going to have a department of astronomy or an observatory, because Kosovo doesn't have an observatory or something like that. Any other questions? Well, I don't think we have more. Thank you so much.